stop and look at the people around you right now. Not just those physically present, but the ones inhabiting the courtyard of your mind. Have you ever felt that sharp, acidic burn in your stomach right after an insult? Have you ever spent a sleepless night replaying a confrontation over and over, desperately searching for the perfect comeback you failed to deliver in the moment? If the answer is yes, you are living as a slave. You have handed the keys to your inner sanctuary to people who don't even respect their own lives. They enter your mind without permission, trample your peace, and shatter your focus with a single comment, a dismissive glance, or an unfair critique. But today, that invasion ends. We are going to build a shield that no arrow of shadows, no social poison, and no manipulation can pierce. We are entering a silent war for your emotional sovereignty. Imagine yourself in the center of a vast, ancient amphitheater. The noise is deafening. Thousands of voices are screaming, pointing fingers, judging, and trying to pull you down with their words. Most people in this arena are desperate, frantically trying to protect their own fragile egos by attacking yours. But you are not like them. You are a white marble statue in the middle of a storm of ash. You remain motionless, not because you're unfeeling, but because you understand something they ignore. The wisdom we are reclaiming today wasn't born in glass palaces. It was forged in the harshest realities of history. While Marcus Aurelius used these tactics to rule the greatest empire on earth without losing his soul, another man used them to survive the absolute worst of human conditions. This man was Epictetus. He wasn't born with the gold of an emperor. He was born as property. Epictetus was a slave in Rome, owned by a cruel and sadistic master. The story goes that one day, in a fit of senseless rage, his master began twisting Epictetus's leg. With a calm that defies human comprehension, the slave looked at his master and said simply, "You are going to break my leg." And when the bone finally snapped and splintered, Epictetus didn't scream in agony or beg for mercy. He just smiled slightly and said, "I told you it would break." How could a man whose chains were physical and real be more free and powerful than the man who owned him? Epictetus discovered the secret of the absolute shield. No one can hurt you without your consent. The pain in his leg was a physical fact, but the suffering of his soul was a choice he refused to make. You must understand that the toxic people who cross your path are exactly like that cruel master. They want to see you break. They want to see you react, shout, and lose your balance, because the moment you become angry, you become their property. Anger is the fastest contract of slavery ever written. If someone can make you furious with a single sentence, that person is your master. They know exactly which button to press to control your mood, your heartbeat, and your day. To build your shield, you must first practice the ritual that Marcus Aurelius performed every single morning before the sun even touched the columns of Rome. He sat in silence and told himself, "Today I will meet the ungrateful, the violent, the treacherous, the envious, and the selfish." Marcus Aurelius didn't do this to be pessimistic or bitter. He did it because surprise is the mother of anxiety. When you leave your house expecting everyone to be kind and reasonable, you're unarmed. The first insult in traffic or the first rudeness from a coworker cuts through your skin like a knife. But when you premeditate the encounter with toxicity, you're already vaccinated. You look at the rude person and think, "There he is, the character I already knew I would find." Their poison doesn't hit you because you're expecting it. You aren't disappointed by a dog that barks, so why are you disappointed by an ignorant person who acts like one? It's their nature to be toxic. It is your nature to be unshakable. Your shield is forged in the dichotomy of control applied to human relationships. What others think of you? Outside your control. What others say behind your back? Outside your control. The unstable mood, your boss, or the judgment of your family? Absolutely out of your reach. Trying to control the opinions of others is like trying to catch the wind with your hands. You will only end up exhausted and frustrated. The focus of your shield must be your judgment of these things. An insult is just a noise, a vibration of air molecules until you decide to give it the meaning of an offense. If someone calls you an idiot, the problem isn't the word, it's the fact that you, for a second, believe it might be true or that the person's judgment has any actual value. If you know who you are and what your character is, the opinion of a stranger has the same weight as the buzzing of a mosquito. Often, the toxicity of others is a cry of pain disguised as an attack. When someone tries to diminish you, it's usually because they feel small and need a step stool to feel taller. When you understand this, your shield transforms from indifference to a cold compassion. You look at the aggressor and you don't feel rage, you feel the same way you would towards someone suffering from a contagious disease. You don't hate the sick person, but you also don't let them infect you. You maintain the necessary distance and protect your mental health. Being resilient doesn't mean fighting toxicity. It means becoming a terrain where the seed of hatred cannot sprout. Imagine your mind as a fortress of dark stone atop a mountain. Below, in the valley, people are in constant war, throwing mud and rocks at each other. Occasionally, one of those rocks hits the wall of your fortress. What happens? Nothing. The rock falls, the wall remains. The mistake most people make is climbing down the mountain to throw the rock back. The moment you descend to retaliate, you become part of the mud. You lose your tactical advantage. You lose your peace. True Stoic power isn't in winning the argument. It's in being the only person in the room who doesn't need to win. The greatest revenge you can have against a toxic person is to be the opposite of them. If they are loud, be the silence. If they are chaotic, be the order. If they seek conflict, be the absence of resistance. Remember the lesson of the broken masks. In the theater of life, toxic people wear masks of power to hide their own fragility. They manipulate, they play mind games, and they try to create guilt because it's the only way they know how to exert influence. Your shield is the truth about you. When you live with integrity, when your actions are aligned with your reason, external manipulations lose their grip. There's nowhere for the hook of guilt to catch. You become transparent to malice. It passes through you and hits the void. To keep this shield strong, you must practice selective indifference. Not everything deserves your reaction. In fact, almost nothing does. We live in an era when we are encouraged to have an opinion on everything and to react to every post, every news story, and every comment. This is a trap designed to drain your vital energy. Save your fire for what truly matters: your character, your work, and the people you genuinely love. The rest is just background noise in a vast universe. Visualize yourself now as that bronze statue. The fire is intense, the heat is real, but your metal is cold. You do not absorb the heat of the environment. You maintain your own internal temperature. At this very moment, while you're listening to these words, someone might be plotting against you or speaking ill of your name. And you know what? It is irrelevant. As long as you focus on your excellence, as long as you are the master of your thoughts, external attacks are like raindrops on a diamond shield. They leave no mark, they simply slide to the ground. You are a descendant of giants who faced imperial betrayals and brutal slavery without losing their dignity. Honor the blood that runs in your veins. Reclaim your peace. Strap that shield to your arm and walk through the world with the confidence of someone who knows that no weapon made of words can wound a spirit that has decided to be free. Starting tomorrow when you wake up, do not let the world decide what your mood will be. Do not hand over your control to the first rude person you encounter. Take a deep breath, feel the solidity of your own existence, and remember, what others do is their problem. How you react is your only true duty. The world is noisy, but you can be the silence. The world is toxic, but you can be the antidote. Keep your shield raised. Keep your mind clear.
Until next time, stay focused, stay unshakable, stay stoic.